This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's also talk about, well, I know you're going to go on a tangent here, or I suspect you might. This match is sort of loose with the rules, and it really feels like the first time that the rules are a little looser in a WWF match because we're using lots of outside stuff, gimmicks, if you will. And it's not a no holds barred match. It's not a false count anywhere match, et cetera, et cetera. It's just supposed to be a straight match, but boy, we're using a lot of hardware here. As an old school wrestling purist yourself, how did that strike you? Was this a match that you think back on and think this is when it started to change a little bit?
Well, I think it's a scenario where it proved to us that when these two guys get together, it's not going to be normal.
Right.
It's going to be different. They're both dangerous characters. So it wasn't I don't know if it was a premeditated mindset. Oh yeah, let's emulate ECW here. Let's not have a lot of structure or rules. And maybe not, but nonetheless, I had no issues with that. I just think it established the platform of this program. It established the parameters of this marriage between two guys. Not Siegfried and Roy, by the way. But not that matters. I'm kidding. It's a joke, folks. It's a joke. God damn it. Loosen up. Please, I'm begging you. We need a little levity in our life. And we're talking about pro wrestling here. Remember that. So, but no, I just thought it was a sign of things to come. I mean, we knew that these two guys, look, Undertaker was more comfortable brawling. And he was a brawler. You know, Meltzer does this award thing every year. And I know that Taker's always figured in for a long time there as one of the best brawlers in the business. I think Meltzer's even named it after the Bruiser Brody Award. So I thought that it just kind of fed into the future where we were going, and it gave the fans something to anticipate that, boy, this is going to be a fight. And obviously we know that Mick has won that Observer Award many times, the best brawler. So it fit their styles, Conrad. I don't think it was we turned our back on tradition as much as we want to promote what was there, what we had, we thought was going to sell tickets. And by the way, they sold lots of tickets. They both made a lot of money on these live events. So it was all good in that regard.
Let's talk a little bit about what's next here for The Undertaker briefly. The next night on Monday Night Raw, Steve Austin is going to substitute for Vader, who's hurt, to face Mankind in a no holds barred match. And they open the show, and they're the two top heels. This is sort of rare for the WWF at the time, but I think the idea is we've got to get Mankind off of the Undertaker because the Undertaker's moving on to the Executioner. And we'll talk about the next pay-per-view in a moment. But this is another one of those things where I sort of look back and think, just like we did at King of the Ring in June, hey, we're getting a little more loose with the rules here. But now we've got Steve Austin, a heel, taking on Mankind, a heel, in a no-holds-barred match on Raw. That wasn't really common in this era. It was usually, sort of white meat babyface versus our villain. And now we've got two bad guys. It was a fun match, but it feels like something new is brewing. Do you think Vince was more open to, less paint by numbers and trying new things? And how much of that is the influence of Vince Russo?
I think that even though Austin was booked as a heel, he wasn't being received universally as a heel.
I see.
And we had started the discussions that we got something special here with this cat. And so I think that's kind of where that came from, Conrad. Yes, it was a heel versus heel match, and you got to pick your dog in the fight if you're a fan. But I think it helped Steve get more recognized, get more focus, more of a spotlight, and they had and their match. I don't recall that match being bad.
No, it was a fun match. It's different. You used to see you know, a year prior, we would have seen Mankind wrestle Aldo Montoya here. You know, it would have been babyface versus heel. And here, I don't know, there's more shades of gray.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.